What's up, YouTube? RC Busta back here with another video. This time we just want to give you guys a little heads up when you're ordering parts on eBay especially, and stuff comes from supposedly taken apart from a new vehicle, and you think you're buying exactly the same parts from the original vehicle. These vehicles have parts that are interchangeable from one to another, and you can fit them, but sometimes there's a little bit of variance. And then there's also the wonderful counterfeit crap that's on eBay. So I was having an issue ever since the new GRPs came out with this. See that black ring right there? That came from the wheel binding around the damn hub. A while back, and I forgot about this, and I didn't even look at it when I changed them, but I had replaced all these hubs because I had a couple that had cross-threaded. I was using this car for bashing before I set it up for speed run. This car is almost 3 years old, this Typhon Success. And when I started rebuilding everything back again to set this car as a speed run car, I went ahead and ordered me a set of these guys. Now, this is what I got in from eBay, thinking I was getting the original part taken from a new vehicle. And as they advertised as like, yeah, these are all parts that have been taken out of a brand new car. They're unused, just taken out, so there might be some marks, blah blah blah. Well, if you look at this, let's see if I can focus in here. This hex part is a lot thicker. I just got this set in, packaged and sealed from Arrma, the right part number, and this hex is a lot thinner. And that worried me. I'm thinking, it's like, if this is already binding here, if that hex goes any thinner, it's going to set in even further. But this little groove here in the back, and you can see that's not even worn. This is intact still. There's no wear mark. It's still thinner, that little recessed area, than the ones that are original from Arrma. And when I put these on, I can tell now that there's a bigger gap between the hub and the hex. These were like almost right up. I could barely fit my nail inside between that gap right there. Here I have like a gap. I can actually I can fit two of my nails, the thickness of my nail in there now. And when I put the new tires in, I can tell now there's a nice gap in there, and it rolled smoothly. I had to use my calipers to measure the distance between the flat part here and the top. The new GRPs, I think, are just a smidge, like almost by like a millimeter. This hole is about a millimeter deeper, almost a mil, than the old GRPs. So I never had a problem with the old GRPs. They used to run perfect. I never had this black ring, and then I put these on, and it was like, hey, what's going on? So I wound up actually on the set that I had previously had on this car, I sanded this down just so that I can clear this freaking hub, and it worked. And I just recently bought brand new tires. I went out to go and do a freaking run, and I forgot about that detail. And I put on these brand new tires, and I go to do a run Sunday, and the car started freaking veering again. It's like nothing changed. All I did was just put 4 new tires, and the Sunday before that, I did 97 miles an hour, and the thing was just straight as an arrow on the tires that I had, the old tires, but I had sanded them down. So I'm like, okay, something's really messed up here. So I just like, you know what? My intuition kept telling me there's got to be something with the hubs. So I just went and ordered a whole new set of hubs, and when I did, I found that out. So not only they're thicker, this center hole is also a little bit further in than that. Everything, the spacing, just as that smidge of spacing tolerance, dimension tolerance, was enough to freaking cause this pain in the ass problem. This tire was actually the one that went bad on the Limitless. And actually, while messing around with this tire, figuring everything out over here, I noticed that right there. This is all pretty hard, and then you get to like right about there, and it just sinks in, which tells me that the freaking belt inside here broke off, which explains why I had that freaking crash at 127, 128 miles an hour with the Limitless, because the wheel was just wobbling, the freaking belt inside snapped. But just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Sometimes it's better off, instead of buying crap on eBay that might be cheaper, it might look like the legit thing, just get stuff that's actually sealed in the manufacturer packaging and it's legit Arrma products when replacing it, unless it's a hop up part that you're going to be upgrading to something that it's, like scorched RC or, anything like that. But that's what happens when you order stuff from eBay, even Amazon. A lot of counterfeit shit, and it can ruin your day. So I'm just getting this puppy back up, put all brand new original hexes on. I did rework the servo. I noticed that the shaft over here for the servo was a little wiggly, so I opened up the servo, and yeah, there was a couple screws. This servo was a freaking $16 servo that I bought in December almost. It was 2019 December, and I used that on this car to bash, to speed runs, you name it, and it's been going strong. And finally, after all that bashing and jumping and doing a lot of speed running, it started to get a little loose in there. So I decided to just, let me just open up, see what I find inside. Yeah, there was just a couple screws that held in the motors that were starting to loosen up, tightened everything up. I noticed that the wires that were going in, they were hanging by bare threads. So I cut the wires short because it was already too long. Cut it short and resoldered it onto the PCB. And she's working beautiful now again. $17 servo, 20 kilogram force, which I know they're overrated, so it's probably like 30% less, probably like about 14 kilogram force, but that's like almost 200 ounce inch torque. Plenty for this car. And especially when you're doing speed runs. When you're doing speed runs, you don't really need anything crazy because you're not doing a whole lot of turning. You're doing very small adjustment in your steering, so you really don't need a super heavy duty servo. I mean, yeah, you want to get something maybe that's reliable and a brand known like Savex or something like that, just so that you know that it's a quality part and is backed by the warranty of the company. But at the time when I bought this vehicle, what I noticed was that the Arrma servo that came with this car sucked balls. This thing couldn't, you would turn a little bit and it let go of the wheel, and it just kept on going that way because it couldn't recenter back again. It didn't have enough strength to recenter, so I popped that piece of junk out, and I found a heavier duty servo on Amazon, put it on, and it's been riding ever since for nearly 3 years now in this car. And I didn't even upgrade that part when I started doing speed runs with this car, serious speed runs with this car. But I fixed it, got it up and running again, and I'll probably be looking at replacing this servo with a quality servo, because now I know I'm going to be pushing 130 plus in the future. Very close. I'm hoping to do a run this Sunday, God willing, and the weather permits. And it might be the last run because it's getting cold here in Connecticut. Might be the last run for the season. I don't know yet. But I really, really, really want to push 130 and above. Right now with the gearing that I have, that 34 pinion and 42 spur and 6S battery, which is a brand new 6S battery. This whole setup, the calculator said at 75% efficiency, I should be pushing about 141 miles an hour. I honestly don't think I'm going to get close to the 140 miles an hour just because I don't have the road to run it. So I'm going to have to cut my run short. But I'm hoping that at least I can break this year. I want to break 130. That's my goal. I mean, I already broke a couple records before this season. Last year I was pushing 121 miles an hour. And I was able to push with this one 128, and I think with the Arrma Limitless I pushed 127. But if we can get 130, I'm going to be happy, and I can end my season happy just knowing that I broke into the next category. Is that addiction of speed, you know? It's like, first I'm like, okay, I want to do 100. I did 100. I was like, okay, what about 110? And then 120. And anybody doing speed runs, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's always going that next level. And that's what I'm trying to get to right here, right now. It's just bringing that 130 home before the season's over. All right, guys. You have a wonderful day, wonderful week. God bless you all. Peace out.